Hey there, welcome back to the Scaling Deep podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Princic, and I'm excited to get back to you from what was kind of a sparse summer back, maybe on the regular, with a little bit more on what's going on in the world of online business and memberships. Now, especially as we're heading into this fall season, which is typically the busiest season of the year for our world and for a lot of consumer products. And this is when we see like endless launches. We're getting constant invites to different events, lots of sales, lots of ads. Typically ad prices are really skyrocket this time of year, and there's a lot. But I'm really curious to see what's going to happen because we are in a bit of a different situation. We are seeing a very clear picture of like some really essential consumer goods rising. Markets are falling, and people are going to start feeling a little bit more cash strapped. So what does that mean for us, the micro entrepreneur? What is it going to mean? Like, how should we be approaching it? What should we be feeling about going into it? Now, I want to say that in all fairness, we are not in an economic meltdown, okay? So there is disruption, obviously, but the disruption is going to happen more for companies that need the stability because they're like large. They have to make certain sales goals, not to increase even, just to pay the team and pay the staff. And they have a lot of systems in place that have been running things, for a little while a certain way. Like they launch once a year or twice a year, and they have to hit these sales numbers because that's their biggest opportunity. Now, it's not to say they can't innovate and offer new things and change things up, but there's a lot more at stake than for the scrappy entrepreneur like you, like me, people who are a little bit more lean and have the ability to be a bit more quick on our feet. And we have a lot to gain because there's so much opportunity when things are a bit disrupted to take advantage of that and just like do things a little bit differently. So this is what I'm going to talk about a little bit today is how can you be bold and stand out and really, really get the sales? And then also, how do you approach a membership that has a lot of potential, which means that you can start by creating a program and then know it can grow and not lock yourself into anything that is unsustainable or tricky because you're trying to sell something at such a high price point that it feels a little bit risky. So first of all, let's get back to this, like, how do you stand out? Now, I really wanted you to think about like what you stand for, like not holding back on your views about your what's going on in the industry, what you think, and how you really see things being able to help people in a different way, being a bit contrarian in your advice and your opinions that might be against the sort of main group of people that are advertising in your world, because people are looking for leadership when they are feeling uncertain. And if you don't have a strong opinion, they're not going to feel safe in your ability to look at all the variables and come up with something definitive to move forward on. They're looking for that. And we're all looking for that. We want to see somebody make a bold move. And the bolder the move, you're also going to get more critics, but that means you're kind of like stimulating people. You're riling them up and you're getting them to like really consider their position. And that's something that we've really got to start to do more of. Like, we don't have to worry about also the masses disagreeing and becoming very offended and opinionated if our audience isn't massive. So we have more to gain than we have to lose from being bold. So what are you clear on in your niche that's different from what other people are saying? And how can you say that more and more and over again? I really, really want to encourage you to step up with your opinion and a direction on how to approach things. Not claiming it's the like end all be all or the perfect solution, but just really letting people know how you're going to go forward and encouraging them to take action. That's going to be critically important right now. And we can't afford to not do that in this landscape that we're in, this economic time. Secondly, stay lean. If you are considering taking 10 more courses, I know that's contributing to the challenge of the market maybe in decline, but this is not the time for excess. It's not the time to, it's the time to take advantage of your leanness by playing more, experimenting more, but you also don't want to create such high expenses that you are not able, you don't feel comfortable experimenting and you just play it too safe, because this is an opportunity to get out there and offer something of great value for people. Now, here's one thing to think about with the whole high ticket world. And I do want to talk a little bit about high ticket versus like membership, okay? Because I think there's a lot we can borrow from a high ticket programs that can really serve memberships, but we also don't have to offer something that's so difficult, like such a high price point for people and such a risk that they don't feel as confident right now investing in, because they are feeling uncertain, not just about their business, but about like the economic landscape, that they might step back and not take that chance. And that you've got, you know, a huge difference in whether you're making that $20,000 sale or not. Okay. A membership is about real sustainability. It's about like long-term growth, long-term play, and knowing that you can add 10 by 10 by 10 a lot easier than in a high ticket program with a lot less expense involved. And it can be really beneficial, but you can get those sales in the first place because it's not at such a big price point that people really, really have to like make some challenging decisions, not only with their time investment, but with their financial investment. Okay. So that leanness is going to be super helpful right now, because anything that is any company, any budget that's just like overinflated with expenses and not very profitable is going to be like a real challenge coming up with more risk. Okay. And then finally, I just want to say, like, level up your sales. Level up your sales, people. Most of us who are not in the mass marketing world are not selling well enough. And what I mean by that is a couple things. One, we're either not selling enough or often enough or consistently enough to people and over again to people that we don't have our sales system dialed in that like consistency way, but also we are not using like sales psychology. We are not selling the transformation. We are just giving away too much information and too much training so that people feel like, oh, I got some good info here and I got what I need and I can do it on my own, rather than really selling them the dream and the ability of taking the dream to the next level because of the support they can get inside the program, not before they join the program. Now, there's so much in sales psychology that is about selling the transformation, is about helping them make a mind shift about what is possible for them and helping them take action, not only just to buy from you, but to actually do the thing that they want to do. And that comes through telling stories and examples and of like sharing different perspectives on why it's possible that you might not be doing enough of, that is hard to figure out. And it's really difficult to kind of just look at how other people are doing it and piece it together. But you can learn to up that. There's some really good resources out there. I've got some inside the Profitable Membership Club that I'll be sharing with people that enrollment's not open quite yet, but it will be very soon, that I can share with you if you want to join and figure that out. Because to me, that's what I'm seeing. The impact-driven people who I hang out with, it's like their biggest challenge is just not being as strong enough in their sales, which really means that sales is an art in itself. And it's not just about what you know, okay, and how good you are at helping people. It's about the fact that that is the place where you might not be showing up strong enough to get people past the finish line, the people who want it, but just can't somehow make a decision. And it could be because they're being confused, or you're taking them off on a tangent of thinking about all these other things. And it's just putting up too many blocks in the way, rather than it making a really like smooth kind of like flowy path to saying, yeah, I need this, or no, I don't, which is either way fine. I think it's the indecisiveness that we create for people when we are not doing a good job of sales itself, that portion of it, not everything leading up to that, but that actual portion of our business, which is super valuable, right? Which is a lot easier to do one-on-one. Okay. That I find super easy. It's like, you need this, I'm the best person to help you, you know, and that's like, if they do actually in fact need it, is a really easy thing. So that's just where I want to like put that seed in there that you've got to up that game. If you're got all these great stuff, people love you, your clients love you, but you're having a trouble like selling to a group via email, via like a webinar, via training, anything or launch, that's the big thing to work on, right? So that's the three things. But one of the things I also wanted to quickly mention is like the opportunity with memberships, especially in this time, is so valuable because you can really, really serve a lot of people at a really accessible price point, at a really win-win model for you and for them, by delivering sustainable content to them, not over delivering, not putting yourselves under strain by delivering too much, and really giving something to them that they feel great about having, and that they have you and your offer in their back pocket without feeling like it's too stressful and they have to leave because of the price point. And that's where I think that borrowing from that high ticket program model, that these days people are, really asking people to join these high ticket programs, and then they're not like a course. They're not offering long-term access to it. They're saying like, yeah, you get access. It's like this amount of money for 6 months. And then you actually don't get the materials after 6 months. You have to kind of re-up to continue. That is very similar to a membership model. So they're kind of, I think, borrowing from the membership model in terms of asking for people to continue if they're getting value, to keep making the investment. I think we can also look to that and go, well, how can I really compete with that? Well, you can compete by offering a sustainable amount of value without the risk of having to deliver such a ginormous outcome, that you can allow people to kind of continue to take small steps at their own pace, absorb the content, and stay long term, while you can continue to up the price if you're seeing huge success more and more and more, so that your program is starting to earn more without coming right out of the gate at a high ticket price point, which can feel intimidating, not just for them, but also for you. If you're not really ready to deliver, like, I'll turn your business into $1 million business, or I'll help you, lose 200 pounds, like huge outcomes, which is what you would kind of expect when you're paying for a higher ticket program. So I think we can borrow back from high ticket and say, like, it is okay to charge the value of what you are offering on a monthly basis. It does not have to be a $27 membership. It does not have to be a $97 membership. You can charge a $500 membership. You can also ask for an initial investment of like 6 months or a year if it really is what you really need into the time you need to deliver. What you are really just saying in a membership is that you are offering them an opportunity to get support as long as they want. There's no end point, but you're also ensuring that they only get that support, unlike a course, which they might buy and not get the personal support or not get any community. And then they can access that content forever. They won't be getting access to that course once they leave. So I think that's where looking at actually both of those types of offers, where membership has the most potential, can really give people the connection they desire at an uncertain time, at a price point that doesn't feel super risky for them, but then allows you to establish that foundation. And then you can continue to raise your prices and watch those sales as you go, which I think is the ultimate business model. Because I tell you, there are so many successful membership businesses out there that we don't even hear about, because they're running them sustainably. They don't have to do mass amounts of marketing to get people in them, because people are staying long term. They're also getting word of mouth traffic, and they're choosing it because they want to run a sustainable business and work like 20 hours a week, which you can do less than that. Maybe not right at the beginning, but you're going to build yourself something amazing long term. So I really want you to feel confident that it is a really good model, despite what you're hearing out there. You may not make all the money back of everything you've done in a month, but every month it can grow. especially with an evergreen style enrollment, and which is also what I teach inside the Profitable Membership Club. So on that note, I'm going to be putting out some really exciting training in the next couple of weeks. I really want you to head on over to scalingdeep.com, get on the mailing list and get access to it, or stay tuned for it if you're already on it. It's going to be really, really shifting your mind about memberships and what's possible. And I cannot wait to share it with you. So stay strong, stay confident, stay scrappy, because that's your number one asset right now, and go out there and create some change. Talk to you soon.